Hello everyone, welcome to BKA Oracles. This is an intuitive, energetic insight read on what's coming in during the Pluto and actually Aquarius and Pluto, to be specific. Okay, and this is going to kind of take place during the March 23rd of 2023 into June 11th. What does that mean on the energetic space here is that Pluto in itself, it's a planet of transformation, and Aquarius, the sign, is a sign of progression. So I basically just put two and two together and gonna go with a transformative progression. Okay, so what does that mean for you on a collective base? I also got an intuitive download or message insight for somebody, and I quote, "I wish I didn't love you so." Okay, I don't feel like that ties into what's going to go on collectively. I do feel like that's specific for somebody, but we're going to check out the energy on that one as well. Yeah, basically that's like the downloads. And onto the cards here, we got, as you guys can see, Merkaba, spiritual protection, dark angel, alchemical mutation, spiritual service. If you guys can see, I don't think so. Let me do that. And then we got second ray of wisdom. All in all, this is like the main energy here, the specific card. Okay, and basically when this card comes out for me, that means that it's time to get your spiritual gear up, whether it's prayer, meditation, salt baths, cleansing by nature, if you know you know, all that good stuff. Okay, so that's uber important during this time. Not just what's going on with the planet wise, but also there is a new moon coming in Pisces. A lot of people think it's Aries due to Aries being near monthly wise, but I feel like that is just people taking it as a mix up for like the spring equinox, which isn't the case. Anything transiting in Aries is of later duration, later time. Not because I have Aries, a lot of Aries in my chart. But one thing I do know is things that are tied to the moon and the cycles of the moon. Fun fact, all my menstrual cycles are literally tied to the full moons. So I'm like energetically, I'm always in tune, but I'm especially in tune during those times. And there is like spiritual reasons for that. If you know, you know. If you've checked your birth chart, if you have checked your like the records above, you know what I mean. Okay. So yeah, so spiritual protection is uber important. Maybe something of this is like quite important, really like sit around like candles and just meditate. Not a lot of people do that. But that also gives me like the sign of more so connecting with your higher self, hence the whole this individual's higher self above. This is also a sign for me where it's like connecting with God in itself, but it's symbolic to that. You know, you can connect with God without doing this, but you can do this as well. But as you guys can see, the light coming through from, you know, above down into her heart chakra. That's basically asking for spiritual protection and being in the spiritual bubble here. So that could like, you know, repel all the low vibrational energies that's trying to do something, activate during specific dates, which is not uncommon for like new moons or full moons. Okay. Yeah, I went in. I went into that. So yeah, all in all, visualization is a key factor. So I think we can move on. We got Dark Angel, alchemical mutation, spiritual service, and wisdom of array. Yeah, I felt like repeating that. So yeah, basically I feel like aside from, you know, get your protection gear up, energy wise in relation to Aquarius and Pluto is kind of sign for transmuting anything that is not balanced energy wise within yourself or when it comes to people. It's similar to when you deal with people from like the retrograde, that you kind of cut off, but they have a way to come in during specific dates and months. It's not uncommon for it to happen during like the retrograde. It's similar, but it's not the same. This is not just in relation to, you know, seeing a change. Where was I going with this? It's like, okay, download moment. For some, it's more so like people from your past have kind of transmuted this dark energy, karmic lesson, past behaviors, addictions, obsessions, mentalities, whatever the case may be that kind of like hinder them to like progress in life. I feel like a lot of people are getting pushed by due to the the Aquarius and Pluto shift, that they're transmuting that in order to actually change, because it's kind of like a vital necessity for their soul. And for others, I'm personally, I do feel this on an energetic level where it's time to balance anything that is whether it's light or dark, but here is more so mutation. And then we got Dark Angel, and this whole thing symbolizes just if you have any like low vibrational factors to you, which we all do. I mean, at the end of the day, as we are in flesh, we are human. Disclaimer, but I would like to say with that, if you have any karmic ways where it's like you're low vibrational, it could be like your attitude or any like habits or whatever the case may be that is kind of like, again, stopping you from like being balanced within yourself. It could just be your thinking progress, your like beliefs, or if you have some sort of like addictions, or if you are like having like procrastination. It could be the simplest things. You know, you holding on to a grudge, whatever the case may be, or letting people like you people pleasing too much, letting people that are not, you know, aligned with you, quote unquote, good for you back in your life and trying to take advantage of you, things of that nature. When you don't balance that out, you know, within yourself and for others, for them to recognize, you know, your power and things of that nature, I feel like this is also very like, you know, a thing of the shift that's going to take place for us to like be mindful of, you know. And it's time for us to transmute that energy. So like whoever we were in the past, that could also symbolize this, for instance, where it's like if we were stuck in something, or if we in lack mentality, this shift is going to push us to like not be in that anymore and take charge of our life, basically, you know. So yeah. Yeah, I know that was a lot. hopefully it makes sense. I'm trying to be as articulate as I can and as clear. I know there was somebody that mentioned that I wasn't as clear in my speech. Pardon me. So yeah, I'm always excelling. So there's that. We got spiritual service and a ray of wisdom. Some of you guys, maybe it's time for you guys to be shifted into spiritual practices. It could be Reiki healing, meditation, just doing good for somebody, like kind of get on your spiritual path, especially if you're watching like spiritual inclined videos. I feel like this shift is gonna also like move us into that direction in order to like take action, basically. Okay, so I think that is, thus far it feels good. So got her vows. What is this? Vows and spouse. For others, I feel like your spouse is coming back, especially if you have like okay, so you're saying I wanted just to check if it was like somebody new, like an actual like a new spouse, like you're ready for your spiritual husband, things of that nature, quote unquote twin flame, divine counterpart, you know the deal. For others, I feel like you're, based on the cards here, your spouse is returning, especially if you've been like separated, divorced. It doesn't necessarily have to be them having the like title spouse. It could also be somebody that you've been in a committed relationship and that the divine wants to bring you guys back together. So this is also going to take effect, and you know, during the Aquarius and Pluto. So there is that. Mind you, there is this, I think I did mention about the Pisces and Moon in Pisces. Your spouse hasn't forgotten. I feel like also there's some sort of universal change in relation to the Aquarius and Pluto, where it's like your spouse has been in the dark for something for so long, and they're gonna get some sort of like divine sign about the promise they made in relation to you. This is something that's already kind of been predestined, calculated, I should say. Okay. So we got here transportation. They're on their way. Like I said, there's something about some sort of authority figure that needs to kind of be addressed. I don't know if it's a court situation. Okay. Like legal stuff. Could be. But I'm also sensing it could also be something like my nose is itching. Wait. It could also be something like spiritual loss. Like it's something that like there is spiritual court. I don't know why I'm laughing, but there is that. But that is like for those that know what it is. Okay. I'm trying to keep the teaching on a low here. So yeah, there's some sort of message here from somebody that you are separated or divorced. I feel like God took things into action. I'm also hearing that God has been frustrated. Okay? The divine source. Is this tied to I wish I didn't love you? It is what it is. Okay, so that is separate. So we're still in the whole Aquarius into Pluto. I'm sensing I wish I didn't love you. It's more so like an automatic reading, but we're gonna fit it. We're gonna fit this in here, okay? So more on this spouse and vows. could be a water sign, Pisces, Aquarius. Okay, Pisces, Aquarius, which is air sign. Pisces, Aquarius, something about, I mean, obviously, Aquarius and Pluto, so check their Pluto or your Pluto for any water sign, like, you know, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. Sorry. Somebody could also have the, be a fire sign as well. Sag, Aries, Leo. All in all, there's some sort of hurt when it comes to fire sign. They're still healing from that. Here you are, okay? Take what resonates. I feel like they're trying to focus on their stability, like their financial stability. For some, their mental stability. Okay? So we got here 3 of Wands. Emperor. Somebody is like really working on becoming like a boss. Okay? They're really heading into that direction. So that's their main focus. I feel like they don't have time for a relationship, whether it's like their spouse, like in any form, or the person that's returning if you guys have been separated. But I feel like God needs you guys to be together, because this is also one of your guys' mission here. And it makes me actually go back to, like, when I talk about balancing everything, you know, let's say if you've been too masculine, God wants you to balance that out and tap into your feminine energy. If you focus too much on work, you know, don't neglect the love as well. That's what that is coming as well. So, like, even if you are focused for this, for an Emperor state, whether you're the feminine or masculine energy, at the end of the day, Source, God don't want you to neglect the 10 of Pentacles, your foundation. For some of you guys, and on a personal note, yes, you know, establish yourself. You make a name for yourself, but like I said, you cannot just have all light or be in all darkness. It has to be some sort of balance. And some might, you know, beg to differ in terms of being in the dark for something so long, for instance, like depression and so on. At the end of the day, there's always an exit, but I don't want to go into mental health as of today, even though I do have the knowledge on that. I just, balance is always, there's always a door for balance. That's all I gotta say. When it comes to God, Source wanted you guys to, like, take this union, this marriage into consideration as well, and don't neglect that. It's very important, you know? It is very important as well into your life in order for you to feel complete. For some, you probably feel like you don't need that, but, you know, God, Source have other plans. So there's that. I'm sorry to say, I do believe in free will, obviously, but, like, if God is gonna bring your spouse back, then that's what it is, you know. So we got here the Strength card. You could definitely have Leo. Your spouse is gonna be tamed when it comes to you. If they have been very karmic, low vibrational, when it comes to you, they are like this lion. Okay, they're very, I'm not gonna say that, I'm not sensing that your spouse is gonna be like submissive, like regardless of like what type of gender they identify with, but it's more so you are their spouse, which is like, whatever you want, I am gonna tether to that. Yeah, even though you have this power over them, at the end of the day, they're still a lion. So it's like, it's giving more so, they might be rough when it comes to other people, but you still have them under their hands, their wing, but you do so in a nurturing way where it's like they're allowing you to do so because of the love they feel. Like you protect them as they protect you. I'm sensing the energy of like you protect them spiritually and they protect you on a physical note, okay? This is like very like divine feminine, divine masculine energy, where it's like divine feminine, they deal with the spiritual, the emotional, the intuition side of things, as like the divine masculine